The story begins with Kim Ji-hoon, an undergraduate, feeling frustrated in his room due to the noise from his neighbors. He lives in a goshewon, a small, affordable housing option in Korea. Kim regrets his decision to live there, especially since he is an alumnus of a graduate school. He explains that he found a position as a part-time lecturer at a university, but couldn't afford the rent in the university district with his salary. So, he decided to live in a goshewon, thinking it wouldn't matter since he was only going to sleep there. However, the noise was unbearable. Unable to take it anymore, Kim decides to find another place to live. He visits several places, but the rents are too high. The first place asks for 150,000 won, which shocks him. He realizes that with the maintenance fee, he won't be able to afford it. The second place is 120,000 won, still too expensive. The third place is 90,000 won, but he still can't afford it. Frustrated, he considers whether he should just keep living in the goshewon. Suddenly, Kim receives a call from his friend, Seo In-woo, inviting him for a drink. Kim reflects on how Seo was already living well while he was still studying in graduate school. He feels like he should have quit studying and started working early. During their drink, Kim asks Seo if he's looking for a roommate, but Seo replies that only women, except for himself, can come into his house. Kim feels like punching him, thinking that Seo is bluffing. Suddenly, Seo In-woo told Kim Ji-hoon to turn around, and as he did, his eyes met some girls, and one of them winked at him. Seo In-woo then commented on Kim's reaction, noting that he got caught staring. Kim, however, didn't mind getting caught since he wasn't planning to talk to her. Seo decided to show off and approach the two girls while Kim watched, feeling embarrassed. To Kim's surprise, Seo managed to convince the two girls to join their table. One of the girls, Joo-hee, asked if she could sit next to Kim, and he nervously agreed. Seo then left with the other girl to buy ice cream, leaving Joo-hee and Kim at the table. They waited for Seo and the other girl to return, but they were taking a long time. Kim and Joo-hee considered leaving, but Kim mentioned that Seo was supposed to treat them. Later, the waitress approached Kim and Joo-hee, informing them that the restaurant was about to close. Kim asked for the bill and was stunned by the total price of 350,000 won, realizing he didn't have enough money. Joo-hee offered to pay, reassuring Kim that he could pay next time. Kim felt embarrassed but grateful. Joo-hee then invited Kim to her house, but he had some strange thoughts about the situation. Despite his fears, he agreed to go with her. The next day, Kim woke up at Joo-hee's place, relieved that nothing bad had happened. As he got up, he saw another girl standing at the door, who was surprised to see a man in their share house. The girl, Shine Bitna, was upset and reminded Joo-hee of the house rules. Joo-hee quickly explained that Kim was her cousin, and Kim played along, introducing himself to Bitna. Shine didn't believe Joo-hee's explanation, but Joo-hee insisted that she met Kim Ji-hoon while drinking the previous night. She explained that his car broke down, and since he was too drunk, she let him sleep at her place. Shine was concerned about having a man in a women's share house, especially with other women on the floor. She worried about the potential trouble a drunken man could cause. Despite feeling like he was being treated as a pervert, Kim Ji-hoon apologized and promised not to let it happen again. Joo-hee asked if he could stay for breakfast, and Shine reluctantly agreed. During breakfast, Kim Ji-hoon observed the dynamics of a women-only share house and considered finding a similar place for men. As they ate, Shine reminded Myung-ji, another occupant, to dress appropriately for meals, but Myung-ji hadn't expected a man to be present. She questioned Kim Ji-hoon, doubting that he was really Joo-hee's cousin since they didn't look alike. Joo-hee defended their story, and Myung-ji made a joke about cousins getting married in some countries. Shine, still unhappy, asked Kim Ji-hoon to leave after finishing his meal. Feeling unwelcome, he complied and left the share house. Reflecting on his experience, Kim Ji-hoon realized that despite his efforts to leave the goshewon, he couldn't overcome the financial barriers and had to accept his life there until he graduated. After graduation, Kim Ji-hoon became a lecturer at a university. Walking into his lecture room, he felt proud of his achievements and the journey he had taken. Kim Ji-hoon walks into the lecture room, ready to teach his students. He introduces himself and explains the importance of the class, emphasizing that hard work will earn them good grades. As he proceeds with the roll call, he stumbles upon a familiar name, Shine, the sharehouse manager. He is surprised to see her in his class and imagines her running to him after class to apologize for her past behavior. After the lecture, Kim Ji-hoon is surprised when Shine starts leaving without approaching him. He decides to interrupt her, but some onlookers misinterpret his actions, thinking he is harassing her. He clarifies who he is, but Shine already knows and acknowledges him as Joo-hee's cousin. Kim Ji-hoon awkwardly offers her good grades if she works hard, but Shine misunderstands his intentions. Just then, his friend Seo In-woo calls, inviting him for a drink to celebrate his debut as a lecturer. Kim Ji-hoon reflects on his first class, feeling it went well but also complicated. He heads out to meet Seo In-woo, ready to unwind after his eventful day. As Kim Ji-hoon walks towards Seo In-woo's car, he notices Joo-hee and another girl, who seems to be Seo In-woo's girlfriend, already inside. Joo-hee greets him, calling him cousin, which surprises Seo In-woo. He questions Kim Ji-hoon about how Joo-hee became his cousin. They all head to a bar to celebrate Kim Ji-hoon's debut as an instructor. Seo In-woo and his girlfriend leave the table to dance, leaving Joo-hee and Kim Ji-hoon alone. Joo-hee takes a selfie with Kim Ji-hoon, planning to post it on social media. She notices that Kim Ji-hoon isn't enjoying himself and asks why. He explains that he didn't sleep well the previous night due to noise from the neighboring room. Joo-hee jokes about helping him sleep better and suggests they live together, but quickly clarifies that she's kidding. She then invites him to live at the share house, and Kim Ji-hoon agrees. Kim Ji-hoon learns that the share house isn't exclusively for women, as he initially thought. The day he stayed over, the only man living there was away on a business trip. Joo-hee informs him that there's a vacancy in the men's room, and he decides to move in. However, the process involves an interview with the occupants and the caretaker, Shine. Upon arriving at the share house, Kim Ji-hoon is visibly nervous about the interview. He meets the 4 girls living there, Joo-hee, Shine, Myung-ji, and Sunbin. Shine, the manager, conducts the interview. The first question is about the monthly rent, which Joo-hee had written as 500,000 won per month, shocking Kim Ji-hoon. Joo-hee winks at him, and he confirms the amount. They asked if he smoked and whether he had a girlfriend. Although some questions felt intrusive, Kim understood their need to carefully select male roommates in a mixed-gender share house. Thanks to Joo-hee's rehearsal, he successfully answered all the questions, and the occupants seemed pleased with his responses. After everyone else approved Kim Ji-hoon, it was now up to the manager, Shine. She had one last question, asking if Joo-hee was really his cousin. Kim confirmed, and Shine finally agreed to let him move in. To celebrate their new tenant, the share house decided to throw a welcoming party. The party was lively, with everyone clapping and cheering. Despite feeling guilty for lying about being Joo-hee's cousin, Kim Ji-hoon was touched by the warm welcome. Myung-ji supplied drinks, and Kim Ji-hoon was happy with how things were going. He thought to himself that this place was like heaven on earth, enjoying the cheerful atmosphere and the company of his new housemates. As the celebration continued, Shine suddenly called out to Kim Ji-hoon, making him nervous. She reminded him to follow the rules if he didn't want to be kicked out. Kim Ji-hoon acknowledged her seriousness. Myung-ji then poured him a drink, and they all raised their glasses for a toast to welcome him aboard. During the merriment, Myung-ji asked Kim Ji-hoon if he had a girlfriend and if he was looking for one, hinting at her own availability. Shine, usually strict, reminded Myung-ji to follow the rules, which led to a playful exchange about jealousy. Shine denied feeling jealous, which startled Kim Ji-hoon. He recalled a previous misunderstanding with Shine, where she thought he was trying to take advantage of his position. Myung-ji then questioned Kim Ji-hoon about his intentions, and he clarified the misunderstanding. Shine announced that she would be heading to bed early, followed by Sunbin. Joo-hee and Myung-ji asked Kim Ji-hoon about his interactions with Shine, and he explained the situation. They continued drinking, with Myung-ji offering some advice to improve his situation with Shine. As the night wound down, Myungji and Joo-hee also went to their rooms, leaving Kim Ji-hoon to reflect on his new life at the share house. The next day, despite being exhausted from the previous night's drinking and moving out early in the morning, Kim Ji-hoon heads to his lecture. He sighs, feeling the weight of his busy schedule, which includes a lunch party for lecturers and evening classes. One of his colleagues reminds him about the lunch party, emphasizing its importance for winning the director's favor. Kim Ji-hoon grabs a meal at the cafeteria, deciding to fill up properly since he might not get another chance to rest. As he looks for a place to sit, he spots Shine eating alone and decides to approach her to clear up any misunderstandings. He nervously sits at her table and tries to explain himself, but Shine is cold and uninterested. In a moment of desperation, he grabs her hand and loudly declares that he is not interested in her romantically, stunning her. He continues to clarify that his previous comments about giving her good marks were not meant to imply anything inappropriate. He explains that he recognized her from their earlier encounters and was simply excited to see a familiar face. Shine, still skeptical, listens to his explanation and eventually tells him she'll see him at home before leaving. Kim Ji-hoon then heads to the lunch party for the management. He feels out of place and uncomfortable in the setting, but knows it's important to attend. Upon arrival, he awkwardly introduces himself to the man at the door and makes his way inside. He greets Director Shi, who notes his late arrival, but Kim Ji-hoon explains that he had a class just before coming. Director Shi decides to have some fun and tells Kim Ji-hoon to drink 3 shots with a lady. Kim Ji-hoon agrees, but his colleague tries to take the shots for him, only to be reprimanded by the director. The director then calls for the madam of the bar, expressing his dissatisfaction with the girl provided. To Kim Ji-hoon's shock, the madam turns out to be Myungji, one of the girls from the share house. Myungji decides to personally treat Kim Ji-hoon, and the director agrees. After the director and the other lecturers leave, Myungji and Kim Ji-hoon have a conversation. Kim Ji-hoon is surprised to see her working at the pub, and Myungji teases him about it. She tells him to call her Big Sis instead of Myungji Nuna, which he reluctantly agrees to. As Kim Ji-hoon leaves the pub, he notices it's raining and realizes he didn't expect the weather to change. He spots Shine holding 2 umbrellas and thinks she might be coming to give one to him. However, she walks past him and hugs a guy she calls Big Bro, leaving Kim Ji-hoon stunned. He realizes that Shine has a close relationship with this guy, who turns out to be Woo Hyun-tae, the only male tenant before Kim Ji-hoon moved in. Shine and Woo Hyun-tae share an umbrella, and Shine notices Kim Ji-hoon standing in the rain. She asks why he's getting drenched, and Woo Hyun-tae introduces himself to Kim Ji-hoon, expressing relief at having another male roommate. Kim Ji-hoon asks for the spare umbrella, but it turns out to be broken. Deciding not to intrude further, he runs back home in the rain. When he arrives home, Joo-hee tells him to take a hot shower to avoid catching a cold. As he bathes, Kim Ji-hoon reflects on Woo Hyun-tae and Shine's close relationship, feeling a bit envious and confused. After his shower, he talks to Joo-hee about meeting Shine and Woo Hyun-tae. Joo-hee explains who Woo Hyun-tae is, and they discuss the situation. Feeling tired, Kim Ji-hoon decides to go to bed early. Shine and Woo Hyun-tae return home after he's already asleep, leaving Kim Ji-hoon to ponder the dynamics of his new living situation. In the middle of the night, Kim Ji-hoon woke up thirsty and went to the fridge for a drink. He found some Yakult that was about to expire, but just as he was about to drink it, Sunbin appeared and claimed it as hers, leaving him feeling awkward. The next day at his office, Kim Ji-hoon couldn't stop thinking about Shine. Just then, Shine then entered his office to ask the assistant professor if she could take an extra course, but the professor refused, saying she would have to wait until next year. Shine explained that she needed the course to graduate on time, but the assistant professor insisted it was against school rules. Seeing Shine's distress, Kim Ji-hoon decided to help. He confronted the assistant professor, who reiterated the rules. Determined, Kim Ji-hoon took Shine to see a professor he knew, hoping to convince him to let her into the course. The professor agreed, advising Shine to work hard and not fail the course again. After successfully convincing the professor to let Shine take the extra course, Shine was very happy and wanted to treat Kim Ji-hoon to a drink. She admitted that she had misunderstood his intentions and now realized what kind of person he truly was. Just as they were about to go for the drink, the professor called Kim Ji-hoon for an urgent matter, so Shine decided to treat him another time. Later, when Kim Ji-hoon got home, he found Sunbin studying alone. They had a brief conversation, and Kim Ji-hoon offered to help her with some difficult questions. As they worked through the problems, Joo-hee arrived home, clearly drunk. She interrupted their study session, and Sunbin decided to go to the self-study center to avoid the disturbance, leaving Kim Ji-hoon alone with Joo-hee. As Sunbin left, she realized she had forgotten her phone and returned to the house, unaware that what she would see upon her return would change her life. Sunbin heads back to her room to grab her forgotten phone. Kim Ji-hoon and Joo-hee notice her, and she explains she just came back for her phone. They nervously ask if she saw anything, but she assures them she didn't and leaves for the study center. The next morning, during breakfast, Shine expresses frustration about having to clean the dishes twice because Kim Ji-hoon was late. He apologizes and thanks everyone for the meal. Shine announces she'll be washing everyone's bed sheets and tells them not to worry about removing the pillowcases and sheets. Later, Shine enters Kim Ji-hoon's room to collect his laundry. Noticing he's already left for work, she comments on how clean his room is, but then spots a blood stain on his sheets, which surprises her. At school, Kim Ji-hoon meets a colleague who hints at a good time they had the previous day. Kim Ji-hoon, however, is busy and declines an invitation to hang out again. As he enters his office, another colleague, a beautiful woman, asks for the attendance book and apologizes for her previous behavior. Kim Ji-hoon reassures her, emphasizing the importance of being accommodating to students. During his lecture, Shine notices the dark circles under Kim Ji-hoon's eyes and recalls the blood stain. After class, she thanks him for his hard work and advises him not to overdo it. She mentions his nosebleed from the previous day and gives him something to help with it. Kim Ji-hoon is taken aback, wondering if she knows more than she's letting on. Shine was about to leave, saying she'd see Kim Ji-hoon at home, but he stopped her to remind her about the dinner she promised. He suggested they go out for a meal, but she proposed just having drinks instead. They agreed and headed out. As they drank, Shine started getting drunk and opened up to Kim Ji-hoon. She confessed that she loves drinking, but has to control herself as the sharehouse manager. She admitted she had misunderstood him recently and felt bad about it, so she wanted to make it up by drinking together. Kim Ji-hoon reassured her that he was fine with it, even though his feelings were starting to show. Meanwhile, at Myung-ji's workplace, a colleague informed her that someone was looking for her. She thought it was Kim Ji-hoon, but it turned out to be someone else, which left her disappointed. Back at the restaurant, Kim Ji-hoon noticed that Shine was a better drinker than he expected, and worried he might pass out first. Shine revealed her frustrations about managing the sharehouse, feeling left behind compared to her peers who were graduating and getting jobs. She explained that she inherited the house from her mother and had to take out loans to maintain it, which left her with little money. As Shine got more drunk, she ordered another bottle of soju, but soon after, she passed out at the table. Kim Ji-hoon carried Shine on his back to their share house. Luckily, nobody was home, so he took her to her room without anyone seeing her in that state. As he was about to leave, Shine, still asleep, grabbed his clothes and cried out for her mom, making him realize he almost misunderstood her. Just then, Kim Ji-hoon received a call from Myung-ji asking him to come to the bar where she works. He decided to go. When he arrived, he found his colleague drunk and causing trouble, so he knocked him out to prevent further issues. Myung-ji explained she didn't want to escalate the situation by calling the police and was thankful Kim Ji-hoon came to help. Myung-ji offered to give Kim Ji-hoon a ride home, and he accepted. She assured him she hadn't drunk any alcohol because the earlier incident ruined her mood. They arrived home safely. The next day at school, Kim Ji-hoon was worried his colleague might remember the previous night's events and report him to the police. However, the colleague didn't remember anything and asked Kim Ji-hoon how he got home, much to Kim Ji-hoon's relief. Later, in his office, Kim Ji-hoon was dealing with pop quizzes when his assistant offered to help. She seemed to have a changed attitude, which surprised him. She praised him for being a dedicated educator, unlike other professors who are more concerned with impressing the dean. Kim Ji-hoon admitted he also wanted to be a full-time professor, but found it challenging due to his picky personality. His assistant found his honesty refreshing and started to like him more. Just after Kim Ji-hoon's assistant invited him to eat with her, Shine approached and overheard their conversation. She dropped the food she brought for Kim Ji-hoon, saying she worried for no reason and wished them a nice lunch together. Kim Ji-hoon chased after her, but his assistant stopped him, revealing that her father is the chairman of the school and offering to help him get promoted if he stayed with her. Kim Ji-hoon rejected her offer and continued to chase after Shine. Later, as Kim Ji-hoon and Shine ate together, they discussed various things. Shine brought dried pollock soup for him, thinking he might have a hangover. Kim Ji-hoon was moved by her gesture and assured her she didn't have to force herself to be with him. Shine teased him about being popular with girls, but he denied it. She then asked if he liked her since she offered him a drink, which flustered him. Shine clarified that she was just being nice as a landlady and had something to apologize for. During their meal, Shine suddenly asked if she said anything weird when she was drunk the previous day. Kim Ji-hoon reassured her that she didn't say anything unusual. As they made their way home, a dog approached them, causing Shine to jump to Kim Ji-hoon in fear, and they both fell down. They apologized to each other and continued home. Joo-hee saw them walking home together and wondered when they became so close. They wished each other good night as they parted ways. Kim Ji-hoon is in his room, reflecting on the day's events. He thinks about how rough the day was, but feels relieved that he has become closer with Ms. Bin-na, who used to be so cold to him. He also remembers Mango and decides he should treat him well when they meet again. Just then, Joo-hee sneaks up behind him, startling him as he is cleaning himself with his shirt off. They talk, and Joo-hee mentions that she saw him earlier and thinks he and Ms. Bin-na have become too close. Kim Ji-hoon explains that it's because they live together and Bin-na is the landlady, so he thought it wouldn't be bad to befriend her. Later that night, Shine wakes up and heads to the kitchen for some water. She hears a noise coming from Kim Ji-hoon's room and gets curious. However, Sunbin, who is also in the living room, tells Shine that the noise might be from a rodent and persuades her to leave. Sunbin thinks to herself that Kim Ji-hoon owes her since he was the one making the noise with Joo-hee. The next day, Shine goes to wake Kim Ji-hoon up for breakfast. He was having a strange dream and apologizes, but Shine reassures him that it's normal for guys to have weird dreams sometimes. She reminds him to come down for breakfast. As Kim Ji-hoon joins them for the meal, he is surprised by the delicious food and wonders if Bin-na made it all. He thinks she might have woken him up just to try her stewed chicken, which she diligently prepared. Yun-tae, who is usually busy, joins them for the meal, and they catch up. Joo-hee mentions that they barely see Hyun-tae these days, and he explains that he's been on business trips. During the meal, the girls remind Hyun-tae that his birthday is coming up, and he says there's no need for special gifts, just their normal meals will be enough. Kim Ji-hoon feels annoyed by how well they treat Hyun-tae and wonders if the gift they mentioned is something else. Later in his room, Kim Ji-hoon is frustrated and thinks about the rules against relationships in the shared apartment. Just then, Sunbin enters his room. She mentions that she doesn't have classes today, but has a lot of exam papers to grade, which is causing her pain. Sunbin asked Kim Ji-hoon to help her solve a problem she couldn't figure out. They sat down together, and he explained how to solve it. Sunbin was impressed by his intelligence and thanked him. She then asked if she could stay, but Kim Ji-hoon mentioned he might get distracted. As they were working, Shine entered the room, creating an awkward tension. Sunbin decided to leave, asking Kim Ji-hoon to teach her the rest later. Shine then invited Kim Ji-hoon to go out with her that afternoon, and he agreed. They decided to go shopping. Kim Ji-hoon was excited, thinking of it as their first date. However, as they were picking clothes, Shine revealed she was choosing a birthday present for Hyun-tae, which made Kim Ji-hoon jealous. Shine struggled to decide on a gift, and Kim Ji-hoon tried to help, though he was unsure about men's preferences. After shopping, Kim Ji-hoon's jealousy boiled over. He couldn't hold back anymore and confronted Shine, asking if she was intentionally violating the no romance rule in the share house and why she asked another guy to pick a gift for her boyfriend. Shine was surprised when Kim Ji-hoon assumed Hyuntae was her boyfriend. She clarified that Hyuntae is actually her cousin, which left Kim Ji-hoon feeling embarrassed and misunderstood. Shine asked if he was jealous, but Kim Ji-hoon denied it and tried to hide his embarrassment by running away. Shine caught up to him and suggested they go have a meal at a nearby restaurant. They ended up at an all-you-can-eat BBQ buffet, which Shine loved. As they ate, Kim Ji-hoon even fed Shine on a few occasions. When Kim Ji-hoon tried to order soju, Shine stopped him, not wanting to drink alcohol after what happened the last time. They continued their meal, with Shine teasing Kim Ji-hoon about being a player and treating all the girls nicely, but only getting jealous of her. Kim Ji-hoon denied being jealous, but Shine pointed out how he got mad when she asked him to help pick a gift for Hyuntae. She then gave Kim Ji-hoon a gift to thank him, which made him happy. As they were leaving, Shine's eyelashes got caught in her eye, and Kim Ji-hoon helped her, making his heart race. Later, Shine invited Kim Ji-hoon to go on a field trip organized by the school. They decided to go by car, which Kim Ji-hoon borrowed from a friend. He asked if Shine was ready, and they prepared to set off on their trip. As they set off, the atmosphere was awkward, and Kim Ji-hoon struggled to find the car's AC, making the ride uncomfortable. During the drive, they realized they were lost. Kim Ji-hoon tried to figure out their location, but they ended up in the middle of nowhere. To make matters worse, their car broke down. Just when things seemed hopeless, an old man approached them. He explained that they were in a chili farm area with no specific name and suggested they stay at his BB for the night since it would take a day for a tow truck to arrive. Kim Ji-hoon was worried about missing the field trip, but the old man reassured him. Kim Ji-hoon called his colleague at school to explain their situation. The chairman's daughter, who was with his colleague, answered the call and assured him that she would take care of everything until they returned. Relieved, Kim Ji-hoon thanked her. The old man informed them that it would take a day or two for the trolley vehicle to arrive and tow their car. He reminded Kim Ji-hoon that he owed him a favor, to which Kim Ji-hoon agreed. The old man then suggested they enjoy their time at the beach while he tidied up their room. Excited, Kim Ji-hoon and Shine headed to the beach. The old man teased them about being newlyweds, which they quickly denied. Despite not having swimwear, they decided to make the most of their unexpected beach day. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the story. See you again.